Shalom, and thank you for returning to Through the Eyes of Scripture. This is part 2 of Understanding the Future. The last video, we addressed slavery and how slavery made nations great. And in this video, we're going to progress forward and add more understanding to everything we've been addressing so far. We need to look at the lesser and smaller versions of the mystery that is Babylon the Great, which are the future modern day smart cities and skyscrapers. And we also need to examine ancient Babylon rather than focusing exclusively on the mystery that is Babylon the Great found in the book of Revelation. By doing that, we'll actually be able to deepen our understanding of what mystery Babylon the Great will look like when she appears on the scene. Hindsight doesn't have to be 2020. Scripture has already laid out future events for us. Now all we have to do is take a closer look with a keener eye and more understanding. Revelation 18:3 tells us, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth have waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." Also, when we continue Revelation 18, verses 11 through 19, we'll see, first I'll read it, and then we're going to go ahead and point out some things. "And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn, for no man buyeth her merchandise any more, the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones, and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet, and all thine wood, and all manner vessels of ivory, and all manner vessels of precious wood, and of brass, and iron, and marble, and cinnamon, and odors, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, and fine flour, and wheat, and beasts, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and slaves, and souls of men, and the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which are dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. And the merchants of these things, which were made rich by her, shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, that great city, that great city, that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And every shipmaster and all company in ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city, what city, what city is like unto this great city, this great city, this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, great city, great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships by the sea, by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour she is made desolate." There are lots of things to take away from this, but we'll focus our attention on what we'll be discussing in upcoming videos. The things that we're going to take away and discuss will be the finer things in life. This future city, it's a future city shrouded in mystery. Babylon the Great likes the finer things in life. Since that great city hasn't hit the world stage, can we at least look around and find cities around the world that are built on and designed around luxuries and the finer things in life? Yes, we can. The cities of the future are centered around luxury, and these cities of the future are what we would call smart cities. In fact, they are focused on the latest in technology, energy, and luxury. When we examine all the mass amounts of wealth, luxury, and technology put into these cities, it should help us to see just how wealthy the future Babylon will be. Whatever wealth and technology we see being put into these modern future smart cities, understand the mystery that is Babylon the Great. Mystery. Babylon the Great will be even greater. When we are able to understand this and gain a visual, then we can understand why John, Yehochanan, in Revelation 17 verse 7, we can understand why he marveled at Babylon the Great. In essence, what I'm saying is that we must first observe smart cities springing up around the world and to allow what we see to provide us with an understanding about the luxuries that these smart cities have. We need to understand that whatever luxuries these smart cities have, Babylon the Great's luxuries will be greater. Whatever technology these smart cities have, Babylon the Great's technology will be greater. Whatever clean and renewable energy sources these cities have, Babylon the Great's clean and renewable energy sources will be greater. This is what makes her Babylon the Great. By examining what these cities are doing and the grand scale that they are carrying it out should help us to get a better perspective on just how extremely wealthy and powerful Babylon the Great will be. The scripture repeatedly tells us how grandiose Babylon the Great will be. But without being able to properly visualize that, it's difficult to fully grasp the magnitude of wealth and luxury we're dealing with. But because we are living in the last days, we're able to view the cities around us, future smart cities. We look to them to see just how great Babylon will be. Understanding is going to be extremely important moving forward. As we move forward in our understanding, it's extremely crucial that we understand what is the driving force and planned agenda that is being used in the mysterious and covert advancement of Babylon the Great's appearance on the world stage. In other words, we need to know how they are secretly, aka mysteriously, working to bring about the appearance of Babylon the Great. This agenda has been cleverly carried out and executed right before our eyes. In fact, I'm certain that a good majority of you, myself included, have had a hand in helping the advancement of Babylon the Great's agenda without even knowing it. They've been advancing their agenda with your help. This is because they've been telling you the entire time, and yet they haven't said anything at all. They've been building right in front of your eyes, and yet they haven't shown you a thing. Babylon the Great's agenda starts with the modern day future smart cities who have advanced their agenda through science, clean and renewable energy, and technology. Understand, it's not a coincidence that a specific type of luxurious smart cities and towering skyscrapers are popping up all around the world at the same time. Now, doesn't that pattern of behavior sound familiar? Where have I seen this before? It's as if it's a planned and collective effort, building smart cities and towering skyscrapers that just reach into the heavens. It's almost as if this is scripted, like it's happened before. Well, we did see in Genesis 11 verse 4, it said, and they said, go to, let us build us a city, and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, which is a Shamayim, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. So according to scripture, they are playing their parts and following the script to the letter. Not only are they building towering skyscrapers, they're also venturing so high into the sky that they're reaching into the heavens, the Shamayim, of course, with the agenda of entering into places like space, the cosmos. But that's a topic for another day and another video. So we're going to continue to look at these smart cities, right? Back to the subject at hand. When you examine these smart cities, you'll see that the premise for these cities is that they will be smart cities, meaning they're technologically advanced in some way, oftentimes using technology most people can't even imagine exists. And much of their technological advancements are centered around clean and renewable energy. And through the use of science, they are able to carry out the building of smart cities and towering skyscrapers, which incorporate the use of clean and renewable energy. This is important. What we have to understand is that cities based on science, clean and renewable energy, and technology are extremely important. As we continue throughout this series, we'll see why they are so important and what role they play in the last days. Now, to deceive the world and to get everyone on one page, the enemy needed to use something that everyone has in common. By using something that everyone can relate to, it makes it easier to seduce and control the masses. This is done through global warming. Nothing unites the world better than something that affects the entire planet. Through the guise of global warming, they are able to systematically advance their agenda without ever raising an eyebrow. They're able to generate all the funding they needed, increase their knowledge base, and acquire all the time they need to accomplish their goals. The masses never became alarmed because of the strategic way this was done. In fact, the masses didn't even question it. Instead, they supported advancements in fighting global warming. The wiles of the enemy: create the crisis and then you can manage it. Global warming is presented as a problem and a crisis. As stated previously, it's something that everyone can relate to. But that's still not enough to get the masses on board with their agenda. It's only enough to deceive the masses. Understand that in order to get the world to desire a solution to the global warming crisis, there must be an outcry. What better way to create such an outcry than by using special technology to manipulate the weather? That is an option, because that technology does exist. Now here's the reality of the situation. Some bad weather is what most would call an act of God, but some bad weather is in fact man-made. The only problem is that more often than not, the average person can't tell if it's a natural disaster or a man-made disaster. And this is where the powers that be hold the advantage. They know that the average person does not know that some of these adverse catastrophes are man-made. And the few people who do are either silenced or dismissed by most people, leaving the masses to be deceived and manipulated. Let's look closer at global warming. See, due to many people's lack of knowledge and understanding of how the enemy works, he's able to deceive the masses. The powers that be are able to pin almost every natural disaster on global warming. And with enough pressure of frequent and repeated devastation from natural disasters, people will begin to cry out with one voice looking for a solution. Solutions such as go green, or even veganism, and many more. The masses are the ones who will fund, promote, and participate in these collective efforts to find greener solutions. Something else that they do is they have fear tactics. So aside from global warming, there's another fear tactic used to get the masses to support green efforts, and that is by the shortage of supplies. Most people are highly dependent on the system that we live in. We are in a matrix that we depend on for our electricity, technology, transportation, heating and cooling, and much more. Many of these things are powered by oil, gas, and coal. They use these things to put fear in the masses by telling them that these power sources are running out due to supply and demand. Also, they scare the masses by saying that these items have damaging effects on the environment. Please understand, I'm not here to debate whether or not these issues are true when it comes to global warming, supply shortages, and environmental damage. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. The reason it doesn't matter is because these issues are merely tools. Again, the reason it doesn't matter is because these issues are only tools. Tools which are used to advance their global agenda. Global warming, supply shortages, and environmental damages are tools to get people on board as a collective. As a collective, people want solutions. Solutions they are willing to pay people to study and research. Their solutions are focused on clean and renewable energy, such as solar energy, wind energy, fusion energy, batteries to store energy, and more. So in conclusion, these smart cities that are popping up all around the world are a smaller version of what's to come when Mystery Babylon appears on the scene. These cities are centered around luxury, technology, and clean and renewable energy. Please stay tuned as we dig deeper into how this is being carried out right under your nose. But I'm not done. I have a mission for you. Your mission, should you choose to accept it. Take some time to look at and familiarize yourself with the various types of renewable energy projects out there. There is no need to form an opinion or take sides. It's not necessary to come up with any type of conspiracy theories. Your only mission is to simply observe and take in information. This will help provide you with more understanding as we proceed in future videos. Thank you for watching. Shalom.